All right. Hey guys, this is the Fam Jam Empire team call. It is October 21st, and we are going to talk about how to onboard a new client tonight. But before we do, does anyone have any recognition or any shout outs? I know Shaw's not on this call, but I'm just going to shout out Kaylee again. First team call, so welcome. We're super pumped that you're here.
She signed her first contract.
Oh yeah, and that you've signed your first coach already. Just crazy, like super fast. And on her way to Emerald. So goal is Emerald by Thursday, and she's crushing it. So I love it. And I want to shout out Trish, who is sitting at SC8, legit. One challenge pack away from SC10 this month. Huge. I love it. Yeah. Okay. Shorty, we see you. Does anyone else have anything else? All right, I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second here. There we go. Can you guys see that? Yeah, okay, perfect. Jared's going to go insane with all the tabs I have open. Don't mind all the tabs. This is my brain. All right, so on the Fam Jam Empire website under Training Academy, this is the page that'll pop up. If you click on I've completed step 1, 2, and 3, is the first part of training, you'll be brought to this page, and I've updated it. Last week we did how to onboard a new coach, so you can watch that team call if you haven't seen it. This week I'm just going to talk about how to onboard a new client. And you guys, this should be a pretty quick call, just to be honest with you. But I just want to go over a couple of things just so everybody kind of has a good understanding of what exactly you can have as tools, so that you can welcome people really quickly, and this doesn't take up a lot of your time. That is the whole point, is so that you can have this stuff already ready to go. That way when a client does come on board, you have all of the drafts ready, you have everything you can send out, you know exactly where you're putting them, and it just makes things really quick for you so that you can get back to doing the other activities on the business activity tracker. So I did add a couple of things in here that aren't necessarily speaking to the fact of onboarding a new client, but I thought that they were really good tools and resources that you guys can have when you are actually in conversation with someone before they actually purchase a challenge pack. This is something that I used to do. I kind of got away from it for a little bit, but I'm trying to bring it back. This is something that actually Tara McMurder, I sent a lot of this stuff out to you in the beginning. This is how I would actually get a lot of my questions answered with people. So what I would do is I would send out a pre-questionnaire. And this pre-questionnaire is just something that I would, if people were interested, once I invited them, I would send them this questionnaire and say, hey, you know, I would love to learn a little bit more about you. Do you mind filling this in for me? I mean, you can ask these types of questions, and this is why it's here. You can pull from this and ask similar questions to this in your conversations, or you can just send them this document. Just save this document and send it right to them. It talks about current struggles, being low energy, cravings, injuries, limitations, what are your goals, what do you feel is stopping you from success, describe your why, what motivates you. Like it goes, it's a pretty great questionnaire, and it's really going to give you a lot of information in terms of, okay, where is this person at and what can I recommend for them that's going to be best? Because trying to squeeze someone into any random program or the program launch that we're doing sometimes isn't the best situation, and we're setting them up for failure from the beginning. So I like having this information. I used to send this out all the time. I got away from it and I started asking the questions in Messenger itself. But I think I might actually go back to it just because I like it a lot. So from there, excuse me guys, cough is real. From there, they would send it back to me and I would send them this recommendation form. So this recommendation form is a blank one. You can download it. You could upload it into Canva. You can actually add, it's blank here. You can add like your name, your logo, if you have a logo, if you just want to put your name, whatever you want, or you can leave it blank. And then I would literally fill in the left-hand side with things that they answered from the questionnaire, and then all of my recommendations on the right-hand side. And I would include like any supplements, what's the program I want to start them on, what's the nutrition plan, you know, what's going to be included with the package, what are they going to get, what's the personal development recommendation. I'll give them that, and that's like a freebie regardless of whether or not they sign up. Any additional notes and the start date. And for me, this is typically just when my next boot camp is starting. I would fill in the start date there for them. So I'll show you an example. So I put a sample recommendation here. Maybe my computer doesn't want to scroll. There we go. So fill in this information from the questionnaire, like I said, and then here, 21-day fix with annual access to the other workouts, to be mindset. Example would be like Shakeology, Energizing Collagen. They get exclusive access to our Facebook group, 1 year of coaching with us, daily check-ins, email, and messaging support. And my recommendation was the Slight Edge, and then I tell them the start date. So you guys have the blank one. You can download that again. I just upload it into Canva, and then I fill in the blanks. I just add like a text box on here, and I just fill it in. So this was something that I used to do all the time. It worked really well. I feel like it definitely gives people an overview of everything, and it's very clear and concise, so they can see exactly what they're going to get. So that's a little bit about a process. If you guys want to consider bringing that in, if you are struggling with conversations at all, this is something that is really good. You don't even need the back and forth. It's a third-party tool, and you get all the information that you need really quickly. So from all that, they decide, yes, I like your recommendations. I want pricing. So I'd send them pricing. They say yes. We sent a share cart. They purchased it. Let's pretend all of this has happened. So I send them out a sample welcome email. Excuse me. Again, this is here. You can copy and paste all of this. You can make your own document if you want. I actually have this in MailChimp. And so when someone comes in, I add their name and their email into MailChimp. I add a tag of client, and this email automatically gets sent out to them. So it's a really simple step for me when I'm adding a new client on. You don't have to be there yet. You don't have to use MailChimp. If you are just using Google or whatever email platform that you have, you can just save this as a draft. You can save it in your phone. You can save it on your computer. Copy and paste it. Just fill in where the blanks are that I've left empty there. It's super important just to highlight a couple of things, letting them know kind of what these programs have done for you. You can highlight too, like if you've lost X number of weight, if you're feeling more confident, better, whatever it is. The link to the accountability group, so whatever Facebook group you're adding them into, make sure that you add it in there. I have kind of put a little bit of information about what they get in their challenge pack. Just make sure that this is appropriate. If they're getting a challenge pack that doesn't have portion control containers, just remove that. If they're getting a challenge pack that has additional stuff, then I add that in if it's program specific. I also have them letting them know that they can jump onto Beachbody on demand right away, and they can start with their workouts. That they can also go into Team Beachbody, and they can enter their password into there. Those are the two spots that they can log in at any point in time to adjust any orders, to track their orders, and then to get access to their workouts, of course. So quick tutorial, I have a link. This is just like a general Beachbody on demand tutorial. Also tutorial on the containers. This is directly from Autumn, so it's a really great one to send to people right away. They can get started watching some of it. And then of course, videos on Shakeology. I really love sending a video on Shakeology now. I never used to do it. I used to just kind of let people get started, and I would say like maybe one recipe that I really loved. But what I really like about doing this is that I have had so many people who have tried Shakeology with like just water, because they mix it with just the scoop, they put it in just water, and then they message me and they're like, oh my gosh, it was disgusting. Like, I'm never drinking that again. How do you guys do it? And I will agree, I don't love Shakeology just with water, unless it's tropical strawberry. That's the only one that I can have with just water and ice. The rest of them, I have to have it in like some form of a recipe. I have to add something to it just to like jazz up the flavor a little bit. It's too plain for me. So sending them a link to like your favorite Shakeology recipe is I just find it's a really nice touch adding it into your welcome email. So again, I just like to confirm their decision on joining the community and then sign your name. Pretty basic, pretty simple. I also like to send them this getting started package. So I will send this as an attachment to the email. You guys can use this. You can download it and use it. If you want to change where it says Fam Jam Empire, you can literally just add like a square box through Canva and you can adjust that to say whatever it is you want it to say. But again, this one, sorry guys, this is just an ebook and this is a huge value add that not a lot of coaches add into any of their accountability groups. So you can consider adding something like this in here. It has contract. This one is for 21-day fix. I have another one too, actually. I'll upload it in here so you guys have the option of both. But I just really liked this one. It was really simple and clean. You guys can go through that when you have the time. And then client follow-up. I think this is a piece that sometimes I know in the beginning I used to be really bad at this one. And as you kind of go through and you understand how people, the messages you get back, this is kind of really just a skeleton of how I follow up with people and the types of emails that I send out after they actually sign on as a client. So one, you're welcoming your new clients with the email. Then you're sending the client into once they're approved in your Facebook group or your accountability group, wherever you have it, make sure you welcome them in that space. It's very intimidating just to jump into a space where people are already going. They already have everything going on. They feel like they're like, oh my gosh, I'm behind. I don't know any of these people. So really welcome them in, encourage other people to show them love. And if no one is, like, literally private message people and say like, hey, can you go show some love to this new person? It's really important for them to feel comfortable from the get-go in order for them to be posting. I also set reminders on my phone all the time, or I add it to my calendar whenever a client signs up. I like to do the next day, just, do you have any questions? Did you get my emails? Making sure that everything is like on my end is working properly. I like to follow up with them in 7 days. I also like to say the next day when I follow up, or the day of, like, hey, make sure you let me know when your order is in. Just because there has been some shipping errors sometimes, or maybe things have got missed, or it was the wrong address, whatever, things happen. So just making sure you follow up with them and say, hey, make sure you message me. So I like to follow up with them the next day, and then 7 days. Typically they're getting their package within 7 days. So at that 7-day mark, it's a quick check-in. Hey, did your package come in? Any issues? Is it all good? It's just good customer service at that point. And that 7-day check-in, sometimes I wasn't doing it all the time until people were messaging me and they were like, oh my gosh, my order hasn't come in. I'm like, what? It's been 2 weeks. What do you mean you don't have your order yet? So just a quick check-in at like the 5 to 10 day mark is really good. And then within 30 days minimum for sure, I try and set the precedent that it's their journey. I'm here for them. I'm supporting them. This is group coaching. It is in the group. I have a lot of people that want a lot of one-on-one time. And while you can give that in the beginning, as you grow, you can't give that. We have a list of over 200 clients, and I can't give 200 people a half an hour of my day every day, or I can't do anything in my business. So it's really getting everyone into that accountability group and understanding that if they have questions, like, lean into the group space. So I try to set that tone from the beginning, and then I'm checking in with email. And email is my preferred method, just to send everyone kind of the same email every single week. But let them know what's your preferred method if they do want to get in touch with you and they do want to reach out to you. Make sure that you're commenting, liking, and showing up in the accountability group that you put them in. I think for some coaches, this is the one piece that sometimes is missed, and we can really spread ourselves thin and get into a bunch of different groups. So making sure whatever group they're in, that we're showing up in that space and we're commenting on their posts and we're showing them praise and love and helping them through their struggles. And that we're physically participating in the daily posts as well, so that we're leading by example. This is something new, number 5, that I've just started. I have found that a couple of people actually find a couple of our groups are getting a bit too big and they're feeling a little bit lost. And so I have pulled this from Rachel Braga. I was actually talking with her, coach from Crush It. And she does this. She does like a little buddy system, and she'll pull a couple of people that she feels like are similar, and she puts them in a chat together. And they have a little chat pod. She's in it, but she said she's not really running that chat. It's more for them to be a little more accountable with each other. And she finds that they're really cheering each other on, and they're finding friendships in these little pods, and then they kind of bring that to the group. Haven't tried it yet, but I really love the idea, especially because I've had a couple of people that have said, like, I just feel like the group is too big. It's not holding me accountable enough. I'm too shy for that type of space, which is totally okay. So I've started with this. I have 2 chats that are going on right now, and we're going to kind of see how that goes. But consider that for a couple of clients that maybe the bigger group is just too much for them, or it's too overwhelming, or they're feeling way too shy. You could even consider doing this monthly. I've considered this as well. So like anyone who is starting in November, they go into the November chat pod. December, they go into the chat pod. So yeah, however you want to do that. I do have chats that are set up. So if you want to connect with me on chats, we can always do that as well, especially if they're in the same group. We can all just kind of run a chat together. 6, I always like to set a reminder. I actually have it automatically goes out every 20 days after they purchase their order. They get another email from me that walks them through exactly how to adjust their next shipment that's about to come out. So if it is Shakeology or Performance Line, I talk about how they can switch their flavor, how they can delay the shipment, how they can cancel the shipment. I like to send them a note before that though, and just let them know if their order is about to come out. How did you like the flavor? Like, ask a few questions about it. That is the opportunity for me, if they haven't already signed up as a discount coach, to offer the discount coach. For those of you that don't know, you can send them a share cart for the business starter kit, and that kit is $50. But if they purchase the challenge pack, they can get the reimbursement for the $50 fee. So they'll pay the fee from the share cart, then they'll fill out a reimbursement form from the coach office. So that's kind of how that works. They can get it free. That's for up to a year after they purchase a challenge pack. They can switch over to a coach and get that 25% discount on any future orders. And then lastly, I just like to consider sending out weekly or even monthly emails to all of your clients, touch base, check with their goals, maybe recommend a podcast or send them like a motivational quote. While Facebook is fantastic and our groups run great on Facebook, sometimes people just aren't as active as we are in that space, and reiterating a lot of the information that you've put in the Facebook group or even the posts that I've put in the group, you can pull from the daily posts all week and you can put that into an email and then send it out. I just think the more information we can give to clients, obviously the better, but just kind of hitting them on different platforms so they feel super supported. So that is basically it, you guys. I feel like it's really important. Can't get back to my screen here. 1 second. There we go. I feel like it's just really important to put those reminders in your phone, and just make sure that they feel super welcomed as they're coming on board, and really highlighting the fact that you are here to help them. You're here to guide them. You will walk them through all the programs. You're on your journey as well, but you are not their doctor. You can't make doctor recommendations. You're not their therapist. You're not any of these things while we do amazing work. It's really just kind of setting those guidelines, because as you guys start to grow your teams and as you grow your accountability groups, you'll find that your time isn't there as much to be able to give to each individual client, as much as sometimes we do in the very beginning. So that's it. I'm just going to stop my share and mute myself so I don't cough on you guys. Does anyone have any questions? I feel like most of us on here have a pretty good process. Does anyone have any questions about anything else before I end the recording? Yeah.
Hey, I have a question.
So,
When you're talking about like emailing them, like I just love this because I already feel like a little bit pressured by the 10 people I have. So I love this, right? This
mhm.
is going to work really good for me, I think. But the email, I'm confused. Are you sending that from like your BOD or like or sending that from your office email?
I send it from MailChimp. So I actually use MailChimp, and I can show you a tutorial on it. It's really easy. You don't have to use it.
Okay.
Could use Google Streak. Do you have a Gmail account?
Yes.
Okay. So you have two options. One is MailChimp, and the reason I like MailChimp is because it sends out automatic emails.
Ooh.
So I can put someone in there, and I've created a campaign. And so the campaign, again, I can send you a tutorial on all this. This might sound like Chinese right now, but what happens is you enter someone in and you add a tag to that name. And now that tag has an email campaign that's associated to it. So I enter in Kaylee, I put it in, I put your email in, I hit client. Now, anytime I want to email my clients, I literally hit new campaign, email, tag clients, and it'll send it out to however many clients I have tagged. So it's one way for me to send an email and everyone's there. I can also set it up so that it's automatic. As soon as I have you in, my clients get 5 emails automatically. I don't have to touch the computer. I just literally have to enter their email into MailChimp. So that's why I love MailChimp.
Okay.
You can totally do this though in Google Streak. Danielle actually did a really great tutorial on this. It's in one of our team calls. If you go on the unit section of FamJam Empire team page, you can see the team call from Danielle on Google Streak. And you can basically, you're just putting people into what we call buckets. So you add their name over into the bucket that's labeled, you can label it clients. And then anytime you want to email all those people, you just click on clients and it will just automatically send out individual emails to all those people.
Okay.
So that would be the best bet, one of those two options. Just getting take an hour, get familiar with either one.
Yeah.
Great.
I'll probably just look into them both and then see which one I like.
Yep.
The other thing, all those forms you were just getting, sorry, I'm not super familiar with the Empire Training Academy. Where did you get all that from?
I'll send you the link in a chat, okay?
I'm on the page.
FamJamWellness.com.
Yeah, I'm on that. I've gone into the training. I just, inside, I'm not really sure where you got it from.
Here, hold on. I'll share my screen. So at the top, click on Training Academy.
Yep.
And then at the bottom here, I've completed step 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, okay.
Complete these, and then it will open up, and you click on how to onboard a new client.
Perfect. That's great. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Does anyone else here use MailChimp? Yeah,
Yeah, I use it.
Yeah.
Best thing.
Yeah, I love it. It's totally worth investing the time to figure it out.
It took me a while. I was a little scared. I was not a little scared. I was a lot scared when I first started, but I took some time just to kind of play around with it. And once you figure it out, it's so easy. And when there's new launches and stuff, just create an email and you can literally send it to everybody in your email list. And it took a while to enter everybody. I've been writing everybody's email list. People who know me know my little book that I use. Literally I had 18 pages of emails that I had to enter in. So it was a bit of a pain in the ass, but once I did it, now it's done. And then I hit a button and everybody gets them. So it's great.
Yeah, I love it for that as well. Yep.
So you mentioned that you send out an email 20 days after they've signed up for their quote unquote if they can modify their order. Is that also an automated MailChimp? Or is that you schedule it out manually?
I automate it. So the first email they get from me is a welcome email. Then they get I actually have a video of just me doing the BOD tutorial, but I linked it in that welcome email on the site for you guys. And then I have another automated email that goes out for 7 days. everything I said in there on the check-ins is all automated in a campaign. So it automatically goes out to all of them. And I just know at 20 days, I can set a reminder to like check in with people. And sometimes I've missed people like all the time, but that's why I have it automated so that I know they're at least getting that email if I haven't had a chance to check in with them to say, hey, do you still like this flavor of Shakeology? Do you want to switch it? Do you want to look at Discount Coach? Whatever it might be. For the most part, I have people sign up as Discount Coach right away. So that's not typically my process. But if they don't sign up as a Discount Coach, then that's a conversation I try and have before that 20-day mark where that email goes out and they have all the information. I send them like the link to like where to go change their order. And then I also give them the numbers for customer support. So if they want to call and cancel or adjust or talk to anybody, they can do that too.
Okay, so the automation is that email is sent from 20 days from when they first got the first email. It's not based on like their actual ship or billing date in Team Beachbody.
Correct. So you have to, if you are going to automate it, you have to make sure that you have entered their email into MailChimp right away.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then potentially if it's just a bod member, they wouldn't really need that email. So they'd be like a different client in the automation. Okay.
Yeah. So what mine says is you may have an order on Home Direct. That's like the title of the email. And then it goes through just letting them know if you've ordered, here are the options to adjust your order. So everyone gets it, but it's more so if they've actually ordered it or not. I like it because it also shows them like, oh, hey, wait, what was I supposed to order something? There is something to order. This is great. Opens the door for conversation as well on what the products are. Yeah. Any other questions on that? Okay. I'm just going to end the recording.